Look at this. I got headphones on. I got a mic going. Baby.
If
Huh?
only people could see you now.
Hey, no video. We've gone through this before.
All right,
No
all right,
video.
all right. Welcome to This Commerce Life. This is a podcast aimed at small, medium entrepreneurs focused on commerce. I'm Phil, your host, and Kenny, your co-host, will join us as well. And we're going to talk to you about the world of retail and commerce and how things are changing in the world.
That's very funny.
I was just telling you, I've had ketchup chips. I bought them yesterday. I opened the bag. I had them yesterday. I had ketchup chips today. Like, I swear to God, I don't know what it is about that stupid flavor. I love those.
You're killing me, man.
Ketchup
now
chips.
I want some too. I'm
You
going to
know
let
what?
Lisa in. I'm going to go get the bag.
Okay, go get Lisa in. I'm not going to do it because I burned the roof of my mouth last night. So every chip I eat today is, I mean, I've done it because I'm a trooper.
Killing me.
I'm going to suffer.
Killing
today.
me. Killing me.
And Hawkins. I love Hawkins. Are you there?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm just fixing my AirPods.
You just do your thing. Phil's went to get his ketchup chips.
Oh,
Well, I told him this today. He goes, "What are you doing?" I think it was one of the meetings, and I was eating ketchup chips because I bought some yesterday. I love them, right? I don't know what it is. I mean, and I hate when we go to the States and can't find them because they just don't have ketchup chips.
Hey, Lisa. How are you?
Canadian flavor.
buddy. How? I'm good. How are you?
I am
I actually
fine.
never had ketchup chips.
My wife hates them.
Kenny's killing me. Like
I love them.
I run 3 times a week. My daughter and I play tennis every day now. So I'm doing this thing, right? Like I'm working hard. I've been doing it all pandemic. And Kenny comes along with a bag of ketchup chips. I haven't had ketchup chips in
They're so
the
good.
entire pandemic, I think.
They're so
Right.
good.
And like,
Oh my
and then
God.
so what does my daughter happened to be working on an essay beside me. So she hears us talking about the ketchup chips and she goes
What a
out.
sweetheart. Eh?
They went to the grocery store and she bought me ketchup chips. So that's what I'm eating now.
Double
Aw.
crunch.
That's
Elevated.
so nice.
Elevated ketchup chips. Double crunch.
Double crunch, yes.
That's like a whole. I mean, I
Oh
bought
my God,
no name
that's
brand
hilarious.
because I was in just dire need. I got President's Choice, so I didn't even hit the. I just love ketchup chips. It's so
That's
stupid,
okay.
I know, but anyway,
How are you? What are you drinking?
what are you drinking?
It looks like coffee.
I'm drinking it's decaf, but yes, it's a coffee. It's feeling cold.
I should go make.
You know
myself-
it's
summer.
10 o'clock at
Why
night,
am I
right?
cold?
It's
Yeah,
10
but
o'clock
it's a
at night. You
decaf.
should. Oh, okay. No. Oh, no.
You can't drink caffeinated at night.
You can drink caffeinated.
I can.
I just thought you'd have a glass of wine or something.
No, I don't. Oh, I already had one.
That was dinner
dinner.
time.
I
Okay.
know.
All right.
Yeah, I already had
Uh,
that. Yeah, don't worry, I'm good. Any excuse. No, I'm
Absolutely.
kidding.
I mean, I don't even think you need an excuse. I just think it's just because.
Okay, I'm
What do you
putting the
need
Yeah,
chips away.
excuses for?
I'm
I
pretty
agree.
sure it's bad for the podcast.
They're so good, though, aren't they? Like, seriously.
Damn you. Damn you.
I
Kenny.
know. So good.
So why is that? So why we're starting super intellectual today? Why are
Why don't
ketchup
Americans
chips
have it?
not in America?
Don't know.
I feel like Kenny and I were talking about it because in the US, ketchup is
It's practically a fruit,
humongous. It's like,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
it's
I
like
think
its
this.
own
I think they
food
see it
group
as an
or-
actual, not a condiment. Like, I think they think it's a fruit or a vegetable.
Yeah.
Like, I think they treat it to that level, and yet they don't have ketchup chips.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't get it.
I think it's done on purpose to create the need and the
They don't have
desire
it.
to.
So when we go
I know,
down
but
there,
that's
I can't
what
find
makes it
them. It drives me
exciting.
nuts.
Lisa's like, this is what you
Yeah,
brought
but-
me on to talk about. Like, really?
Well, it's an important topic. Like, I told Phil, salt and
This-
vinegar
this
is
is
another
what-
one. It's tough to get in the States.
Yeah, yeah, and all dressed as well, right?
Another one.
Another
Okay,
one?
so what is
Hmm.
so salt and vinegar is pretty basic. Can't find them. Ketchup they don't do. Period. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it is weird. It was a bit weird.
But they do.
But
weird
even, like,
things
living in the-
buffalo wings and things like that down there. No.
Yeah,
Those are weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
same as the UK. It's like totally
Yeah.
different, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, their
of
chips
course,
over there
you
aren't
know, they
even that
call them-
good. And they
Yeah,
don't
they call them
chips. What-
crisps.
Crisps.
also.
I mean, what
Crisps.
the hell's a crisp?
Crisps. Yeah,
I think it's. I
chips.
think it's
Chips
fancy.
are fries.
Yeah, chips are
It
fries.
is. It is a bit fancier.
It's
It is a
fancier.
bit fancier.
Come
What do you
on,
want? You
But
want
they
your
have
chips
like some
baked?
great
Program, man.
flavors.
Oh my God, we're not baking chips. You fry a damn chip in a shit ton of oil. That's how you make a chip. If you want health, stop eating chips. They're chips, man. That's the whole point of them.
Yeah.
Deep fried, double crunch.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
Oh yeah,
Oh
go
my
big or go
God.
home. What the hell?
So we have Lisa
Yeah.
M. Lanny on. She's she's the principal and founder of Retail Strategy Group. She has been here before, but she is like a super smarty pants, and we just wanted her back.
Well,
We
thank
just-
you
we
for
love-
having
and then,
me.
And then you also do The Merchant Life.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No,
The
a
Haven't
lot
Merchant-
of good, it's
better?
good writing. It's well read.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well
Thank
written,
you.
well read. I like it.
Yeah. You
Oh,
guys
thanks.
should.
It's fun. Yeah, there's a lot of humor in there, but
Yeah.
a lot of great
Yeah.
tips and tricks. For either DTC brands entering the offline space, and of course, merchandising tips and how to navigate with this weird retail world we live in right now.
Yeah. And getting
Mhm.
weirder by the day.
Yes.
Weirder.
Oh my God.
Yeah, actually weirder by the day, right?
It really
like
is.
we are, I don't know, like there's so many things.
Yeah.
We always thought opening would be kind of like opening and closing and, it'd be binary, but it's isn't anything but binary. And it is
Yeah.
weirder by the day.
There's still a lot of
Yeah.
challenges. Supply chain is still a mess, Rick. It really is. Like, supply chain is
Not yet. Not yet.
It's
The
not
ship
any better
hasn't
than-
sailed yet for the Suez Canal. What is that great big boat?
No, it did.
Oh my God,
It
stuff.
did start. It
Did
got
it?
released yesterday. Yeah, or this morning. I think I read.
Did it?
Yeah, it was released. Yeah.
But it's not even that. I mean, it's hard to get containers. It's hard to get boats. The Suez is blocked. There's just crap loads of issues everywhere. So there's still
Yeah, and
lots of
it's-
holes on shelves. Not going to get any
It's a
better.
lot more expensive too to even get your product into a container. So
It's 2.5 times what it was last year.
yeah,
That's
and
ridiculous.
I think the challenge is like, who's going to pay for all this, right? I mean,
Well, retailers apparently don't take price increases anymore. I don't know how that's going to hold,
I don't
because
know.
what's going to happen is importers will just stop or manufacturers stop doing things. Like, you can't lose money, right? You've got the price increases are coming. You got
Yeah,
no choice.
it will be the customer.
Oh, it has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be.
But there are, I mean, you've seen, I don't know if it's all, because Nike was on this path already, but like Nike, for example, they're shedding retailers like crazy, right? Because it's one less layer. And so if you needed to control cost and you've got retailers who are knuckling down on cost or on not taking a price increase, fine. I'll cut you out of the loop and go straight, right? If I have a good omni-channel strategy, I can go straight to the consumer. And
A little tougher in grocery though, right?
yeah, I totally get it. Like on grocery, it
that's-
doesn't work, but there are
it
categories
but it
out
definitely
there
it's
that-
harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And I
dry
think-
goods, sure.
Yeah.
Clothing, I mean, whatever. But
Well, I think it depends if what your strategy is, right? Like, are you looking to scale? Are you looking to grow? Are you looking to capture a new demographic? I think that there's a lot of questions that would need to be answered before, you either go direct to customer or drop ship, from a Nordstrom,
sure.
for example.
like most stuff
Yeah.
I'm talking about is the day-to-day staples. Like, it's hard to get anything in the country right now. Pasta, like, never mind salt. Phil knows we do salts and oils. Our salt is the cost that it's getting to the point where if the
Wow.
cost was, let's say, 20 cents a box for
Yeah.
shipping, it's now 50 cents a box. It's not like you're charging $80 a box for salt. Like, it's
Yeah.
tough to recoup those
Well,
costs when you're
You might have to.
well, yeah, but they don't take price increases, remember?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
can't go. What are you going to do? You're going to go online. What are you going to sell your
Direct
salt
to
for?
consumer salt.
Oh yeah, salt 1 kg at a time. That
I know.
shipping rate in this country be $9,000 for a kilo of salt.
Oh my God. That maybe we'll all be healthier.
Yeah.
Of no flavor, but
Maybe.
will be healthier.
Yeah.
There goes the salt and vinegar chips. Now the ketchup chips are gone. You guys are killing me tonight.
Done.
Oh,
It's I was on this panel for the cargo. It was like a cargo and logistics conference, and
Okay.
the CEO of Mountain Equipment Co-op was on this panel with me and Canada Post, and it was so interesting because bike parts, as you know, it's awful to get bike
Yeah.
parts.
Can't get them.
And there's parts that Mountain Equipment Co-op is waiting for. And the lead time is 300 and I think 20 days.
It's a year.
For,
Holy crap.
yeah,
It's a year.
yeah. And that's only one part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a challenge.
It is a challenge, but to me, the challenge is, shouldn't we be changing the way we're doing things then? Like, why aren't we using 3D printing for certain parts of a bike, for example? And why are we not doing that locally to avoid the Suez Canal? Right?
I would assume it's back to the same thing as cost, right? Is someone has to be willing to pay for it. I think, the thing is, sometimes what happens, I think consumers, for the most part, people watch enough news, and that's when media sort of helps a little bit with some things, is they start talking about it to get it in our heads. Like I sent Phil a picture the other day. We filled up my wife's fun car, right? $1.99 a liter, $1.99, $9 a gallon for gasoline. Like I thought we were in, a developing country at that point. I thought, what the hell happened? Like we're $2 a liter. It was $135 to fill that stupid car. I mean, this is insanity. But what do you do? You're not going to stop driving, right?
Yeah, you are.
Well, you might. I'm not. That's like ketchup chips. I'm not going to be
Kenny
crisps.
was all irate because I said my hybrid didn't cost nearly as much. My hybrid only cost like $50 to fill, and he was like,
your hybrid's not as fun to drive as the car we're driving.
My hybrid, look at my car, and I was like, yeah, that's a nice car, but
it's
I'm
fun,
okay
right?
with my gas bill.
Yeah, but that's the thing. My gas bill is outrageous.
But
outrageous.
But 3D. It is an interesting.
It's an interesting concept. I don't see why you couldn't do it.
Like 3D bike parts. What would be the harm in it, right? Like it's just
cost.
About.
But I'd rather pay double. Actually. But even if it was pay double, get it now.
No, but it's not only cost though. Yeah. It isn't. It's training.
Training. Yeah.
It's that. Yeah. There's not enough people who know how to use a 3D printer.
Right.
And that's the problem.
It's actually really hard. I was surprised at how hard it was. I had I used to have a Microsoft Surface laptop, and it has the kickstand in the back, right? So I broke my kickstand, and when I went to the Microsoft store, they were like, "No, we have to send your device away to get." And I was like, "This is ridiculous, right? Like, I'm not like my whole life's on this computer. I'm not sending it away for the kickstand. Just give me the part." And they couldn't do that. So I actually went to get the part fabricated, but I had to take a mini AutoCAD lesson to like figure out the measurements, and it did take me a while because it took me like 3 tries to get it right. So I have like extra non-fitting Microsoft Surface parts kicking around that I don't really know what to do with, right? Custom, yeah. But it's complicated. But once it's not too hard. It's not too hard. Like it's actually like the learning curve is pretty quick. Like I have actually thought about buying one for the house, even just cause it'd be.
If you're a bike shop, then what would it cost you? I mean, what would the machine cost?
The 3D, like a basic 3D printer,
it's a few grand.
So a couple $1,000, right?
It's $1,000.
And to your point,
like an entry level is $1,000, and then depending on your materials and all that kind of stuff. But at $1,000, like you could probably recoup them pretty quick. Like I think
you would assume so. I mean, outside of the fact, again, you'd have to hire somebody who knows how to use it. You still have to be able to get a price. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be more expensive than the part coming from the Orient. The difference is I get it now. Like I don't want to wait 320 days to drive my bike. I mean, seriously, it's a bike.
Yeah.
You should be able to just find parts in the city somewhere. You would think, right? Like it shouldn't be that complicated.
Yeah. It is though, but it's not only the training. Like I think there's also that other component where people don't want to digitize parts of their process because they're afraid to lose their job. So that's another mindset shift that needs to happen. So it's not only, okay, there's nobody to do this work, but what if we do get people to do this work? What does it mean for that workforce, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess, I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. You get a different person working for you. It's gonna be a more highly trained person. I'm assuming it's better in the long run.
It is.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
You've got
it's hard
more
to say when you're on the other
label.
side of the fence, though, right? It's like the cashiers right now. Like you guys, we're all in the retail. So you go into a store. Once they start taking all the check stands out and make it self-serve, yeah, it doesn't necessarily hurt my feelings per se, but I'm also not the one that just got displaced.
Yeah.
Right. And some of these people might be in their early 50s and not have a skill set that allows them to go do, 3D digital print.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and again, it's not that we have to hold jobs forever for anybody, but it does feel kind of like, wow. I mean,
we do. I mean, we don't value, like in that specific situation, you think of like any of your big box retailers, right? The theory that we all know is you really should pull the person off cash and have them wandering aisles because they will help you upsell.
Absolutely.
Like we all know that's real, right? Like you have people wandering aisles, the experience gets better, people buy more stuff.
But that's not what they're doing.
But that's not what retailers do, right? No. Like they just go, oh, well, I have labor savings here. And you're kind of going, no, you are trying to fix the bottleneck and get them to buy more stuff. But
exactly. So you should have just moved those people into other spots.
Why am I explaining this to a retailer, right?
Because typically it's an accountant or a finance person running it. It says we just saved, X millions of dollars in payroll.
Yeah.
Right. Which is
but then, there's a big discussion online today with Retail Wire and LinkedIn, and it was around training and how training is so important because it does directly impact that ROI. So if you have cashiers that, don't have work to do, you need to train them to do something else, but you also have to empower them, right? There's so much more to frontline sales than just transactional.
Agree.
Exactly.
Folks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's funny though, but a lot of them, like you go into some of these stores and they're typically the ones closer to my age, let's say, probably been in retail for 30 years, right? Have seen thousands of products go through.
40 years.
Whatever. You're almost my age. Remember, you're in your 50th year. So let's.
No, I'm in my 30th. You're in your 40th.
Okay, whatever. Honestly, why do you guys got to pick on my age all the time? Why? You're right behind me. You're right behind me.
I think that's his point.
I'm younger than you, and it's still funny to me.
But you know what? They could wander the aisles, a lot of those people, because they've seen tons of things. They probably used tons of things. They actually even know a lot of the customers potentially. I mean, I think you're right, Phil. I think the problem is we just don't do that. It just goes bottom line saving, cost saving, and that's it.
I just laugh about it because, like, we used to kind of go, did you know, like, Shoppers Drug Mart has the person in the beauty aisle and they sell more stuff, right? And everyone's like, are you sure? Is there data around that? Come on, guys, like, let's get over it. Like, everybody knows this, right? Like,
it's 100% true that someone asked me,
like,
they're going to sell more product.
Costco has a demo lady who's offering you free nuts at the front of the aisle. The back of the aisle gets more lift. Like, it's just like, I don't even know why, right? Like, every time I don't know, maybe Lisa, you probably see it more than us, right? But like at the retailer, they're always like, are you sure? And you're like, why are we even still talking about this? Like
they'll sit and argue that a flyer gave them a definitive lift, a paper flyer that nobody was, that gave me, but they'll argue that a person in an aisle, right? I don't know. Does that work?
Customized experience. How could that work? Ugh, show me data. Like, come on.
Honestly.
I have not experienced this.
Oh no? Okay, good.
No, I haven't, especially in apparel and footwear. I haven't experienced this, but I could see, I mean, as in my previous life as a merchant, when we take staff off the floor, we don't make the sale.
You don't.
Right.
Yeah. You don't. You just don't.
Yeah, really don't.
There's something to be said about someone looking at something and someone walking by, are you looking for anything in particular? Mm-hmm. It's always the same thing. Like we used to laugh in the old days at London Drugs. We'd walk the appliance aisle. Like at the end of the day, I owned every single appliance there, whether I owned them or not, or ever used them. Yeah. But it was just the story you could tell because, someone may have trained you learned a couple tidbits or you read the box earlier, but it's amazing just what that little reassurance does for people. They'll pick it up and buy it. If nobody's there, I mean, we used to watch people leave the store. As soon as someone went, bang, bang. And then someone else is listening. Oh, what does that do again? Can you explain that? You're thinking, I'll sit here all day because I'm just going to sell stuff all day. Not do anything but sell.
Yeah.
It's about validation, right? Also, validation of your product choice. And that's why people, even go shopping in groups, squad shopping as a is a term that's been thrown around a lot lately.
Shopping.
Which is it's actually really I'm all for it. It's offline and online, but online is the one that's getting a lot of buzz, where you can basically, like, it's almost like, FaceTiming all your friends when you're online shopping.
Really?
Yeah, it's super cool. And it is taking off. I mean, it's quite popular in Asia, which they're always so much far
They're
ahead,
million
right?
years ahead of us always.
Yeah, million years at least. But it's amazing to see how these I want to call them kids, obviously, because Kenny, because I know you're quite old. So
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, it was the last time I'm going to do a podcast with either of you.
Just for that, you can come on the show anytime you like. You just
thank you.
Just show up. It's all good.
That's all good. It's fine. I'm used to it.
Just the point I'm trying to make is that the millennials and the younger generation are very tech savvy, and they are glued to their phones more than we'd like to admit. So I think that it's great that they're doing that. At least there's some social interaction in some cases, but there's also validation, which in turn helps the retailer sell more product.
Right.
Yeah.
So squad shopping could be the three of us, but not on a Zoom call, because that would make it an old squad shop. Like, it'd have to be a phone thing. And then what do? You kind of like jump together and then jump to an app, or jump to the site. And then
I think you could do it by brand, because a few brands have taken that retail tech on board. There's also the live shopping, which I think we did talk about last time. I can't remember. Which is, I think it has a similar effect. Like, you're going to invite your friends to live shop with you, and then you get personalized, like, styling and actual interaction with the brand or retailer, which I think is great, especially in like a vertical like beauty, or of course apparel. I think it's great.
Apparel,
beauty does it really well.
Could see that
beauty
too.
does it well. Yeah.
I can't see myself doing it, but I could see people doing it. I wouldn't want to be walking around with people shopping on my phone. I'm in and out, man. I'm there for purpose. I get my stuff done. We're going. Yeah. Unless I'm with my wife, and then I'm just sitting down wherever I can, quietly, patiently waiting.
Carrying the shopping bags, standing in line to do all the returns.
Or standing in line to hold a place, right? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, when there's no fitting rooms open, that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
we're returning.
I'm good with that.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, you guys are different than us. See, we haven't been closed really, right?
Yeah.
Remember, BC's different. Like, we've been in malls since last summer. I mean, not that any of us are necessarily going as much, but we definitely haven't been closed like you guys. I mean, everything's.
I haven't even thought. You know what? That's bad. Actually, I haven't thought about a mall.
Why would you?
I haven't been to a mall.
We guys weren't allowed to.
Yeah, until
your malls were pretty much closed, were they not? I mean, they
were, but I don't
deemed non-essential.
I haven't been to a mall since the pandemic. So it's 18 months.
We shopped Christmas at the mall. We did.
You did?
I was at the mall for a little bit. Malls were open. It might have been Christmas before the pandemic, so it might be 2 years.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That seems so weird.
I feel like I can't call myself a retail person anymore.
You can't. It's over.
You haven't been in retail in moons.
No, I've been in retail. Like, I've been in retail. I've been
barely. You couldn't even buy ice cube.
No, I've been where I can. So, but
he was trying to buy ice cube trays in Ottawa, and they wouldn't let him buy them because it wasn't a non-essential.
Yeah.
Try making gin and tonic without ice cubes. Okay, it's an essential.
And toilets. I had a leaky toilet, and I couldn't change it because, like,
how was that non-essential?
Was at Costco, and Costco couldn't sell it to me because it's non-essential.
Wow. Yeah, unless you bought it online.
No, because they didn't put it online.
Okay.
Right. So I'm like,
well, I went to the mall yesterday.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what Eaton Center was like.
Yeah.
And it was pretty dead. I'm going to post some pictures. It was pretty dead, but the stores that had a lineup, like Apple, OVO, and Canada Goose, no lineups. Weird. But the stores where you could not use the fitting room had lineups.
Really?
Zara, I think Lululemon as well, but Lululemon also has the app. So there could be a line, but you could be walking around in the mall, right? So they just call you.
Yeah.
And of course, Bath and Body Works always has a lineup because they're always on sale. And same as Victoria's Secret, it's like all promotion. So those were the stores with the lines. That was it. Nordstrom was dead. The Bay was like, I don't know. I went back in time.
Wait, what's the Bay?
It's a big retail store that
Just
someone
joking.
still goes to.
Yeah. The only place that was busy in the Bay, which is why I went to the Bay, was Nespresso to pick up an order.
So you weren't really at the Bay. You were at the pop-up.
No, but I did a walkthrough. I did a walkthrough.
But there's nobody around.
Because you had to
No,
get
it was
Nespresso.
That's funny.
yes and no. I did want to go and see what was going on.
It's all good.
But the purpose to go to the mall was, yes, to go to Nespresso. But then, of course, I'm efficient, so I had to go and walk the whole thing.
Well, you might as well walk here there, right?
Yeah, but it was definitely like spooky.
Really. And
Yeah,
it's
it
funny
was
because
spooky.
we got a call today from our buddy Mark, who was is it Station One or Square One? What's the mall?
Square One.
Square
One.
One. And he said it was packed.
Really?
That's what he told us. Remember, Phil? He
Wow.
said the mall was busy. Now, what was
Yeah.
busy?
My
I don't
hood,
know.
right? We're like the middle of the pandemic center, so it's.
You guys have been
Yeah.
dying to get out. I heard winners for you guys have been two
Oh.
block walk,
I know.
2 block
Yeah.
lineups.
It's impossible to get into Winners.
It is.
Really?
Well, now it wasn't too bad. I did pop into HomeSense
Yeah.
yesterday just
Okay.
to see what was happening.
Yeah.
Because it's the only time I've ever not seen a lineup outside of HomeSense.
Yeah.
But Queen Street is not, it's still downtown. It's a different demographic.
Right.
But there's a lot of promotions. I have some friends who are in the buying office there, and they said as soon as the doors opened, that was the week they actually went on sale because they had to do their fall flip. So that is just mind blowing to me that retailers and brands have not changed that calendar. That's something I really I push a lot with anyone I speak to, that you have to change that seasonal calendar because we should not be flipping so quickly. I mean, stores were closed for months. So that stock was just sitting there. They don't have an online presence, but of course they have lineups outside the door, just like Primark in the UK, hours.
Yeah.
People were out lining up for hours.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But it's not worth it to them because they won't make margin.
They won't make
they go
anything. They're
online.
just
It's
blowing your brains out,
expensive.
right?
But it's absurd to me, right? Like so you have an entire season. So this is like apparel will be like this. Hard goods like lawn and garden furniture, right?
Yeah.
Especially here in Ontario, and then even cosmetics, right? You've got a whole
Colors.
like summer colors that have sat, maybe because they're in Shoppers Drug Mart and places like that, they might have sold more. But all of these guys, so they opened the doors and took a haircut and put them on discount right away.
Right away.
I feel like consumers we joke about it, but
Yeah.
I really did. Like anywhere that I could go once we opened, I started like if I could walk an aisle, I walked an aisle because it just felt good to walk an aisle. And I'm sure I bought more than I really intended to, right? Like,
but the fact that all those goods were on sale like last week, that means that the pandemic did not teach these retailers anything because they did not shift their calendars. They did not shift any parts of the way they were working their seasonal line.
Yeah.
And, a lot of those goods, if they don't sell, where do they go?
Right.
They go to landfills.
In fairness on some of it, though, it all depends on lead times. Like if you were buying summer, like you would have bought summer last spring, not the spring prior, you're 13 to 15 months out. So you're maybe hoping that the pandemic's over. But even
last
if they
year
were
at this
smart,
time, we were closed.
Right, but ship it out here. I mean, it's really difficult to find summer in our city because we've been open.
Mm-hmm.
We had some we've still got great weather. Like there, my mom and dad, they were humming and hawing over chairs to buy, like just for the car when they go to parks. I said, don't hum and haw. There's nothing on the water. Like what is here in this country is here. So if you want to see, if you see it, buy it because, we'll wait for sales. I said, but it's not going to happen. There's no sales coming because they're selling. Now you guys are different because you're already into July. The season's almost over in a sense. I mean, it isn't, but the buying part of it would be over.
Yeah.
It is. I know. But I don't.
Yeah.
I'm so
July is
surprised they
fall.
didn't empty more things earlier.
No, they couldn't.
Make an
though.
online presence, like do something.
They can't. They couldn't. And even if they did, it didn't mean they could ship from store, right?
They don't have that.
So
They don't have that capability. Like these,
No.
these guys.
It's too bad, right?
Like
and the
like,
shopping
even if you
malls
take the-
should have put something in place, really.
For
right?
sure.
And
For
but
sure.
they only can capture a small number of retailers because it's so hard for them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they've put this line in the sand, tenant, landlord. And I will tell you from insider information that even you look at a big mall, Zara will not pick up the phone to talk to a big like CRE in Canada to say,
Really?
let's innovate together. Nope.
Wow.
Really?
Mm-mm. They don't have that relationship. They're not like, let's say, a Simon's property where they are invested in retail because they are also retailers.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I think there's a lack of understanding around inventory visibility for a shopping center. So they create apps. They didn't innovate together. They innovated separately. Shopping malls are putting curbside and return bear and things like that in place, and the retailer is doing the same thing over here, but you're in the same space. So why are you not working together? There's a lot of that happening, but some companies are doing a better job for sure. But it's, shopping malls
That's
are
not
changing.
to me.
Like the mall does not exist as we know it.
Yeah.
It's not going to. It's going to change. Maybe Eaton Center may not change right away, but they're going to become mixed
They're
use.
going to change.
Yeah, more mixed use.
Yeah, they're going to have
Definitely.
to change.
But
They can't afford it.
That's healthy though.
Yeah.
I think that's really
It
healthy.
is.
Like I think you stop, because we've had those moments where we've filled the mall with retail that hasn't been relevant, right?
Or the same retail at every single
Or
mall.
the same retail,
I mean,
or
really, who cares?
or malls that like have 2 or 3 of the same retailers just with different
Yeah.
locations, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Absurdity, right? Like, but there are some like really interesting mixed use cases that I think,
Yeah.
just some.
But
really
the point of the mixed use
Yeah.
case though is that so the mall can keep the lights on,
yeah,
right? That's the only reason, because those stores that have not survived the pandemic, they're like those mid-tier
Right.
stores
Yeah.
where there's no one else to fill those spots. So where's that revenue coming from for the mall to keep the lights on? So that's why mixed use will hopefully drive more footfall, but that doesn't mean that they're going to go into the stores and spend money, right?
Yeah, there's no
I don't
guarantee.
know.
of that,
I think
guess.
it's tough for the shopping center right now.
It's going to be tough no matter what. Right. And at least with mixed use, it's the same argument that you always had. Like, if you were beside a Walmart, you weren't guaranteed to get their traffic, but you got better odds because at least there's traffic.
Yes.
Like at least the odds get better. I mean, it still may not be, then it's your job to close it, right? Just because people are in the mall doesn't mean they're going to come visit you. You're right. But now you got to get a little more creative, at least take advantage of the one thing that you got going for you.
But
a lot of them won't even do that, right? They'll just sit there and wait and think.
But
Yeah.
the mid-tier malls have been in trouble for a long time. Like you
They
think,
have.
Oh yeah.
like if you kind of roll it back 10 years and you go, okay, so Zellers was in trouble. They were anchors, Zellers and Sears, right? Like
Yeah.
big
Mhm.
anchors and medium-sized to small malls. Target came in and said, yeah, we're buying all the Zellers. We'll anchor malls, like all the mid-tier malls, right?
Yeah.
Renovated,
Such a fail.
and
huge
then
fail.
they all bailed out, right? And then
Yeah.
so like how many empty red and white, like
They're still
buildings
empty.
are there? They're all empty. And then, like they're typically used as clearing houses or for the Halloween, pop-ups
the-
that happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
The costume,
No.
Halloween costume stores.
Maybe in some liberal districts you get the fireworks,
Right.
guy in
God.
there, and then that's it, right? So
Yeah.
so they've been in trouble, and now
Well, the bay will be the next space you can have
like
for
so the
peanuts.
anchor is gone. The anchor has been gone. They've been scrimping and scraping, and now they've lost probably more of their inside, right? So it'll be curious. Like, do you have an opinion on what kind of mixed usage is coming? Like, is it more industrial? Is it what does it
Yeah.
look like? Or
I I'm hearing a few things actually.
Yeah.
The one that's going to pay the bills is residences.
Yeah.
That's what will actually pay the bills.
That's the one I like, actually.
You guys should come to Vancouver because you can see it live. That's what we're doing.
But I think we were, I was talking about this like in September about mixed use, just because of what is it called on Robson Street?
Yeah,
they developed the condos there, right, at the mall, Richmond Center, maybe.
Richmond, do it this way.
All of the subway stations, you're like that, right? Like all your
Vancouver's a very different city this way, and it's a lot smarter. Yes. So Brentwood Mall is where my mom and dad were. Brentwood Mall was a neighborhood mall for years. There's now 70 towers in that area. So the mall now is going to have the movie theater, food, dentist, doctor,
ecosystem,
all that stuff. Then you go to Oak Ridge, same thing on the west side.
Yeah.
You go into Richmond, same thing. Like Metrotown, they're going to destroy the mall. Same thing.
Really?
30 towers. Because what you do is it's the same thing we just talked about. If I put the people on top of me and I have restaurant, dentist, doctor, blah, 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 coffee shops will do okay. Small retail will do okay. Like you can actually do it now because at least I've got a captive audience atop me. Yeah. Right. And then what they're even doing is even mixing that. So the first 10 floors are commercial and the next 20 are residential, like the Shangri-Las do, except these aren't going to be that style, but that mentality. I mean, and then you've got great things. So you've got people there during the day that can support the lunch and the breakfast and the daytime shopping. Then they go away and then all the residents come home from work and then they go downstairs. Yeah, so like you do have this it's awesome. You keep people off the road. Yeah. Like in Vancouver, it's around SkyTrain stations, like Phil said. So you're developing areas. I mean, there's people moving in. They don't need cars anymore.
Yeah. It's almost like what malls used to be was bringing communities together. Absolutely. And now it's like the communities are bringing, like, just making the mall more cohesive. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
I know what you're getting at, though. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're building residential so that we can build a mall, so that there's something else going on.
The purpose is still the same. Yeah. It is about community, which is what a mall should be.
It's awesome. You should see what they're doing here, you guys. Parks in the middle.
That's great.
I mean, and there's like there's this daycare. There's like all of a sudden, like you can just live in this one area. Yeah. And have the world there. And it's good retail too, right? You're not getting schmuck stores. It's Whole Foods.
From like a profit perspective, all those things will bring in revenue, which is great. It's strategic. What I'd love to see is how we always talk about offline meeting, online, we want omni, things should be seamless. If we could see that happening from a mall perspective, where the mall supports e-commerce and digital and everything that goes with that. So it could be live streaming, it could be gamification of retail, it could be so many things. And I think that as long as the mall continues to be innovative, but they need to innovate with the retailer, I think that's the thing that's missing.
Yeah. I agree.
And I think many of the situations, it's not even the mall that's doing any of this. Developers are coming in.
Yeah.
There's just a shit ton of money to be made. It's not got nothing to do with the real estate and the management of a mall.
Yeah.
Because the mall people, if it's still going to be a Cadillac Fairview, whoever it is, unless the dinosaur is going to change, it's just going to be the same dinosaur, just in a different location or a different cover, right? Which would be a shame, to your point. It'd be nice if it could kind of evolve the way the community is sort of evolving around it.
Definitely.
Right.
What's interesting is what's happening in the US with the labor challenges in retail. So as of course we're slowly reopening. They're open, but they can't support their customers. So that's a whole other challenge besides supply chain, is that labor challenge.
We have it now here.
Yeah.
Restaurants. We got restaurants closing for the summer already.
Yeah.
There's no staff. There's no people.
Yeah.
So restaurant, you cannot physically get servers. I mean, I know of a handful of restaurants literally that have just closed for the summer because they can't get people. It's not that they can't get business, because we're open in and out. There's no issues. We're maskless if we want to be. We just got nobody to work. Imagine that.
And is that the same reason that's happening in the US, where the government help and subsidies actually pay out more than what you would get paid working in retail or restaurant?
I think that's probably what a lot of it was. I mean, most of those subsidies have sort of stopped, right? Or
Like
are
the
stopping.
CERB and all
Yeah.
that stuff, right? Yeah.
And now I just don't know if it's maybe people have found other things to do.
Yeah, maybe they upskill.
I mean, pandemic's forced. They could
I'd love
have.
that.
I know. I do know people have done that. I know people have gone to school and maybe into a trade, as opposed to anything, or maybe they've done office. Maybe they're doing 3D printing because they had 6 months. They were getting paid to stay home anyway. What the hell's the difference, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but I think there has probably been some of that. Again, I got no empirical to back that, but
Yeah.
you know, I definitely know that for sure restaurants are closing in the city, and a large part of it right now is no longer the pandemic being closed, is the pandemic after of where the hell did all the people go? Like
Right.
we're asking, I mean, we're trying to hire warehouse people. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't get drivers, you can't get pickers, you
Yeah.
can't get servers, you
Yeah.
can't, I mean,
Yeah.
where the hell they all go?
But
Yeah.
They can't
it's
travel. They got to be in
happening
the
here
city
too,
still. Where
though.
are they?
Yeah, it's really weird. It's happening here too. Like, so I haven't heard about the restaurant stuff yet, but
You guys
for
aren't
sure
open yet.
where-
Though. That's why.
yeah, but warehouse, like
Good luck.
pickers, like all that stuff.
Unless Amazon's taken a good chunk of them, which could be true.
It could be because
yeah,
they are
could be.
expanding. They're opening two.
And they've been busy.
Yeah, they're opening 2 facilities in London, Ontario.
Right?
Yeah.
And think about how many
Big ones,
facilities do they
really
have in
big
Canada
ones.
now?
A lot.
They've got to have into double digit now,
Yeah.
and they're not small. They're taking a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Brampton
Right.
has a huge one, right?
Massive.
The Brampton one makes the Walmart facility
Look like an old school warehouse.
tiny, right? And the
I know.
Walmart one I've been in, it's like 1,000,000 square feet, right? So you're
I've been
walking
in that
and go,
one. Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
this place, right? And then I drove by the Amazon one. I'm like, it's still going.
Still going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run off the road trying to figure out where this.
But
thing-
think how many people work in there then, right? And so all of
Yeah.
a sudden you might be looking at it as a less skilled individual.
Yeah.
You can serve in those nice shitty hours, you know, that you don't want to do. I mean, you can tip out, but your hours aren't great. Or you can
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to them,
This is a
get
nice,
decent
steady
pay, benefits,
Yeah.
not going anywhere. It's a big company.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden you're thinking, well, maybe it's not that bad, right?
Yeah. Or you go to Walmart and you get a Samsung phone. The incentives. I mean, I think incentives work. I
They
do. I think
but it's expensive because you've already been bleeding for
Yeah.
15 months.
I mean, not everybody's Walmart, of course.
Exactly.
But I do think that, if you look at, I don't know if you know John Lewis partnerships in the UK, they're a partnership. So all the employees are partners. So they have a stake in the company. So that's another way to incentivize, retail staff and, hospitality industry to come back to work is, let's give them a stake of, what the brand is all about. And then they're real true brand ambassadors.
Yeah.
And they make great ones,
Well, they definitely gonna be part of it, right? I mean, I don't know what your city's like versus ours, but it's just, for us, it's just been the small business, the mom and pops.
Yeah, here
Where
too.
those things just don't happen. I mean,
Mhm.
your mom and dad own a store. They're gonna sit there and think, I'm not gonna give up.
Yeah.
Like, what
No,
am I
it's
gonna give it to?
been
I'm supposed
very
to-
tough.
Yeah, it's for
Yeah.
them. I don't know what the hell they do.
Yeah.
And
it's
they
been
they
really
weren't going to
tough.
go digital, right? That wasn't in the cards.
Yeah.
right?
Or they just
Yeah.
they just can't, right? They just can't. And they don't understand maybe that it actually is quite simple to open up a Shopify store.
For sure.
But they just don't have that bandwidth, or it's stressful, right? Change is
Yeah.
stressful. Pandemic was stressful.
Pandemic
But
is
a
still
lot
stressful.
of stores
Yeah,
have
it still
closed.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. But like we've always said, but a lot are going to thrive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that have done exceptionally well because they pivoted well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They looked at the opportunity as opposed to, the doom and gloom, which, people are people. We all have a tendency to kind of go down that path, but there was a lot of opportunities during this time too. We've
Yeah.
had guests on that have done very well.
Oh my gosh.
They did very well because of the pandemic. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but I mean,
honestly,
that actually pushed them to do things.
we've had a couple of guests that I honestly feel like I'm standing still or pedaling backwards. Like
Yeah.
we've had a couple of women in particular where they were like, so had a job, I got, started this new business on the side, had 2 kids, and then I still ran the business. And you're like, what what just, and we just passed this, and then we thought we'd do an online store because,
Well, then the pandemic hit. Instead of stopping, we did something there.
And you're like,
wow.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? It's like we've been twiddling our thumbs while these guys do amazing things. It's
yeah.
Lisa.
But I think there's a lot to be done in retail right now, especially to help those smaller retailers.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, because it'd be a shame, right? Those are the ones that are typically the cooler ones, or the ones that are part of your community, right? You don't want them to, you don't want to see that store that's been there for 35 years. And, you knew the parents, and now it's the kids running, or whoever it is. Like, it's a shame when you're thinking, those can't die. Like, it'd be so sad, right? Because, you lose that fabric, you lose that.
But they are.
It is. It is heart.
Yeah.
Part of the community.
It is.
Kind of sad.
But at the end of the day, it's the same thing. I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, it's true. Try and help them
as best you can, right? I mean, we all did it here. I'm sure you guys did too. We supported restaurants as best we could. We did shit tons of takeout. Oh my God, we did so much takeout in the last year, right? Because you don't want to be closed when you come back. Like, you're trying to do as best you can to support, but it still wasn't near enough. But I mean, at least we got them through, or many of them anyway. I think we only lost 10,000 restaurants in the city.
Is that all?
I think the Lower Mainland was about 10,000.
Brutal.
So can you imagine what you guys are? You guys are way bigger than we are.
I don't.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about it, but I mean, our numbers were stupid.
Yeah, scary.
It's a lot, eh? That's a lot. And it's a lot of people displaced. Again,
it is.
Well, we're starting to hear those too, right? We're starting to hear, like, restaurants that have been around a long time that are getting locked out of their places now.
I heard about that.
Right?
Like Mama's Pizza.
Yeah.
Happened in the beaches.
Like, they're iconic. They've been on the same. It's a pizzeria. They've been there for, I don't know, as long as I can remember.
Why they get locked out though?
They
just like
they can't afford it. I don't think they weren't able to make payments and everything, and so finally it just got to that point, right? And they got locked out. We've actually, I think in the city,
rent went up,
like
and
3 or 4 of those in the last couple of weeks, right? So it's pretty sad. Like, it's a sad way for a landmark to go up, So
definitely.
Yeah,
that's too bad.
Yeah. I was going to ask you. We jumped into all these things.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you what's going on with you. Like, we didn't really do.
You didn't even tell anybody who was on, to be honest with you.
We did. We said who she was, but it's like 10 to 11.
3 seconds.
We didn't ask you what's going on with you. Like, what's
that's okay. I mean, lots is going on with me. The latest and greatest is that I am going to be part of Retail X in August, which is the first in-person, in real life retail conference. So I'm super excited.
Wow.
I'm going to be talking about curbside and innovation around curbside and last mile, and then moderating a panel. This is going to be a blast because it's the ex head of strategy of Home Depot, and then the ex CMO of Lowe's. So it's going to be
that'll be
really fun.
Wow.
I think it's going to be really good. But yeah, so excited. Like, I have obviously not traveled at all. So, but Chicago will be, I think it'll be buzzing. I think it'll be really good.
It's going to be hopping.
That's the newest thing that's happening. Merchant Life newsletter is going really well.
Yeah.
Lots of great topics. And I think we're covering a lot of ground. Last week we talked about stores, and is there a point? Do we even need them? We do. We do need them, but I think that there's a lot that needs to change, which I think
change has to happen.
Happening. Yeah. And then I'm working with some brands and retailers on optimizing the way that they're working, like digitizing parts of their line plan, optimizing their merchandise assortment, teaching some digitally native brands how to sell wholesale because a lot of these brands are new and they've never done it before, right? So teaching them fundamentals and strategy around how to approach a buyer of a department store.
Oh my gosh.
So doing things like
carefully.
that, doing a lot, very carefully, very carefully, very.
Ears open, mouth shut.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of opportunity for new retail, which I think will be. I think it'll be exciting.
It's going to be exciting. It will be because the change is. I mean, it's unfortunate as always. It's a forced change, but you know what? Sometimes you need that to to make something better out of this, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So,
you have to.
Yeah.
It's the only way to survive is to be flexible and, start
right.
changing things up.
Mix it up a little bit. We need
Mix
it.
it up. Yeah.
A funny nuance with digitally native brands. I was explaining this to Kenny because we ran into a bunch of these guys, and they don't use any of the terms that like retail or like, I guess, offline bricks and mortar folks use, right? So it's funny because we're doing some stuff with the Clearco guys, and they call everybody a founder, right? And I could see Kenny the first time we did this. Kenny, like, you could kind of see him going, founder.
Well, the founders are listening. The founders are listening. I'm thinking, well, why would the owners of the company give a shit what we're doing it with these little retailers
like,
or these little?
Why am I in with tech startups? I'm not. I don't know what to do with it. And I was like, no. They don't mean founders. They mean brands. They mean like brand owners and like,
right.
like online people. And he's like, oh,
why
are they calling them that? Right? Like,
so I'm listening to, we want to do, we're going to get a distributor. Oh, okay. So what's your product? And they go through and thinking, so you're getting a broker, like you're not distributing it. Like, I don't like, well, we're wholesaling. Well, I'm not too sure actually what the hell you're doing because
I think
your words are all wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly. So your broker agent, the distributor does this, the wholesale is this concept. Like, I'm not too sure what the hell you guys are talking about.
The funniest moment, sorry, and I'll tell you this and then I'll shut up. But the funniest moment is one of them says to Kenny, listen, I have all these questions about wholesale, but I know this isn't what you guys really do all the time. But is it okay if I ask? And I can see Kenny's head like almost popping off, right? Because Kenny's like, this is what I do. This
what
is
else
my
do
whole
I do?
life.
I don't do anything else. I was happy then in some way that you thought I was capable of doing something else, but no, this is pretty much all I do.
But it was just because, they just speak different languages.
It's the language, right? It's just,
yeah,
and that's fine. You learn, right? And then sometimes you learn a different way to say it. I can't do founder, by the way. Founder to me is
tech, right? Founder's tech, it feels like.
Yeah, I didn't quite grasp it. But
yeah, I think that it is important to teach the fundamentals.
Yes.
Traditional retail is still, the heart of retail.
Yeah.
So I think that we still need to teach that. That's what they teach in schools. Otherwise, we wouldn't have any retail schools.
And the basic principles, even if you're online, the basic principles of retail are still the basic principles of retail. Exactly. How you get it to people might be different. The logistics might be different. How you talk may be different, but the fundamentals are still the fundamentals.
Yep. And your KPIs may change, but that's really it, right?
Yeah.
I will tell you one funny story around a digitally native brand that I was helping. They are expanding into wholesale. They've opened some retail stores, but they work in Google Sheets. So you'd think that, a digitally native brand would have, some fancy demand planning tool or something. They do not. They sell a lot of basics, but they have never done automatic replenishment. So they have constant stock outs. And it was shocking to me because, Phil, your face, exactly that. Like, it's like, how have you never even thought of doing automatic replenishment? Or
isn't there a fancy AI tool or
something? But
they're not even that fancy anymore. They're just plugins.
But even in production, like keeping, basic grays aside so that you will be able to produce quickly and react to customer shifts, but also have products for Christmas. Like, that's basic. Yeah. So it's interesting what I'm learning. Let's say.
Well, it's interesting what other people are learning too. They don't understand they don't get, again, you know what it is? Because when you say you're in retail, people dumb it down to, so you stock shelves. I mean, that's they're not understanding the complexity of retail. It's overcomplicated. If anything, it's a gong show.
But there's an art and science to it, and I think that we as traditional retailers and legacy, I'll call ourselves legacy retailers, just because it's funny. But we just need to keep teaching and putting the word out that, the basics and the fundamentals, they do matter.
They're still the same.
We just need to, update your language or, let me teach you how to do this, because it is important and it is valuable, and you know it's valuable because otherwise you wouldn't have, you know, stockouts.
Yeah. I don't shift in the other way though. Like you also have to get the legacy people to update their language.
Absolutely.
And
It has,
how
it's a
they look
two-way,
at it.
yeah, it's a two-way street, right? And I think that's a big part of what I push is around changing those mindsets. And, you know, everybody kind of has to come to the table and be open and be flexible, but it's important to learn from each other, because otherwise you're going to have these like young kids out of school thinking that every retailer uses predictive analytics and digital tools with, you know, great insights, but, you know, hello, that is not the case yet.
Yeah,
but
you're the predictive analytics.
Yeah, but that's going to change. I want these guys to be empowered. I want these kids to be empowered to, you know, and be motivated to do these things and not be, you know, discouraged by these, you know, old folks sitting in these roles that have never done anything else.
So that is funny. Like, so you met the omni-channel class I was teaching.
Yeah.
And one of the things, like, as they graduate, like they've all graduated now and they've all smarty pants, they've all gone out and got cool jobs.
Awesome.
But quite a few of them have come back to say, okay, so I have all these automations that I want to teach, or no, I have all these automations I want to get done, but I keep talking about them and everyone looks at me like I have 4 heads.
Oh yeah, it's
right?
like
Yeah. And I said to them, okay, but here's the problem, right? Is what, like, so you know, so a couple of them I said, give me the explanation, right? And then I was like, no, you you can't.
You told me what it was. You didn't tell me. Like, I don't understand.
No, you got to do this in retail. You got to do this in retail terms, right? And so, like, once I went through it and we like changed all the language for them, they were like, "Oh my god!" I presented it and it went through just like they were so excited, right? And I'm like, yeah, because you are like frontline generation. You're teaching tech. But you're talking to a non-tech generation. Like I think safely to say all 3 of us started in a time when, you know,
I'm older than you guys. You know what? Listen,
faxing orders, right?
Like, I faxed orders.
So
fax orders.
You know,
and out of the 3 of us, I'm going to be the least techie, because those 5-6 years on top of you, Phil, and probably the 30 on top of the other one on this call, you know, make a big difference, right? It's enough. Like, I mean, you had computers in the home. We didn't get our first computer till we were 25. Like, it's a whole those years. So when they're coming in talking to me, you know, I want to, okay, don't tell me to give me the gobby shit. I'm not interested. What's this going to do for me?
What, an API? What?
Okay, I like saving money. I like that. It's going to increase your sales X%. Well, I get that too. But don't tell me, you know, connect it. I don't care what you're telling me. What's it going to do for me?
That's like, what are the outcomes? What are the outcomes? And
what's it going to cost me? And what's it going to do for me? All I want to know.
Yeah. All you have to do is tell me about gross margin and that I don't have any excess inventory and I'm happy.
I made money. I love that story. Great story.
Yeah. Great story.
All day you can tell me I made money story. Yeah. Then I'm good with you.
Yeah.
But they do. They talk a different language, right?
It is funny.
Do.
Founders.
Yeah. We just need to integrate.
Yeah.
The old people
I
and
think
the
that's what
young people.
That's what we're trying to do, right? Hopefully that's what you do in shows like this or a podcast like this. You're trying to get people to understand, you know, watch your audience, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This was fun.
You're always
Thanks
fun.
for having
Your stuff's
me.
always good.
Oh, thank you.
I think that was sort of like a whirlwind, but it was no.
Really
you're welcome here anytime, really.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to have you back after your show. I mean, I mean, it's just so there's gonna be people at this conference.
There's gonna be like live.
Like you can actually hug somebody or like like shake a hand and
listen.
She
hugs who she wants to hug. Don't put her in that spot. Everyone's gonna start showing going, I heard you're giving out hugs like that.
Did I say that? Did I say? I said you can hug people.
Yes, but it's in real life. I booked my hotel today.
That's crazy talk.
This is so weird. Should I have like cancellation? Like,
a hotel.
I booked a hotel.
Wow.
Yeah,
and you're gonna go on a plane
too. I'm gonna go on a plane.
and in a cab.
Holy
shit!
Okay, you're freaking her out now.
I know. Now I'm like, that's it. I'm canceling everything. I'm just kidding. No, and there's also another one in New York in September. So I'm gonna just hopefully go to that as well. Yeah. I mean, we got to get out there too, right?
Yeah,
I mean, at some point,
it's got to change. We got to get back to some of that. I mean, the interaction with human beings is something I think we all kind of miss. I mean, the digital's fine, the 18, but you know, I like shows. Like I've booked Toy Fair already for February. It's a million years away, but it's just it's just the
I haven't
buzz.
booked anything yet.
Yeah. I was contemplating booking a concert for January. I'm like,
Oh, I would do that in a
I don't know.
heartbeat. Oh, I'll book a concert for September. Oh, absolutely.
That's too many people for me.
Put your
I
mask
think it's
on.
too many for me too, but I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about it.
Double vaccinated, had the disease,
I'm double
light it up.
I'm a no. It's too many.
Oh, I'm going.
Too much.
It's too much.
So the old guy's going to go. So now who's the old guy?
Yeah.
Now who's the old person on the call now? You two youngins don't even want to go see a concert.
Cognitive decline happens. A lot happens.
It's going to happen anyway. Just speeds it up a little bit, maybe. Whatever.
Oh
you won't know anyway.
Listen. When you're at Retail X,
yeah,
are you going to be like promoting it before you go and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I will.
Will you ping me and I'll make sure we reflect it in our socials? I think that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
We'll
totally.
totally.
Love to have you back after it though. Like seriously, that'd be so cool.
That'd be great.
After, and then if you want to stream anything from the show,
let us know.
We would do that with you too. I don't know if you need us
fun.
for that. I mean, you could probably do that by yourself too. But if you wanted a partner to do that, we'd love to ride along that ride too. So
Let's
whatever.
do it. I think that would be fun.
Let us know, even if it's like a 15-minute, you don't have to take a full hour. Like if you just want to give us something really cool, and I don't know.
Yeah, I like.
Just show us
idea.
people. Just show us even people.
I like it. I think it's a big deal, right? Because it's going to be the first time, and and then you're there and you're going to be doing your thing. I think it's really cool.
And I'd love to get an idea what the feel is out there. Like just,
I know.
just a pulse on. I mean, we've talked so much, but we haven't talked to anybody live. Like you can actually see someone, see what they're actually saying, and the look, and like, is it good out there? Is it not good out there? Like what's happening?
And then when the Home Depot guy and the Lowe's guy get into a fist fight, just make sure
they won't though. They're both retired. That's why that one could actually be really cool.
Yeah,
no, they're not retired. Actually, I think they the head of the one that used to be head of strategy for Home Depot. He has his own. Like it's a super cool, innovative company around home. Like I guess about sharing stuff. And the other female, she is actually the chief merchant officer for Hudson, the travel
no way.
In the airports, the travel store. Yeah.
So basically, they're not competing with each other anymore. It should be an
it
should be an awesome talk.
Fun. Yeah,
it should be a great talk.
Yeah. We had a pre-call and I was like, oh my God, we should talk forever. This is amazing.
God, that's gonna be such a great one.
Yeah. It was good. It was really cool. But there's a lot of like very interesting people going to be there. So yes, let's definitely do something.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That'd be fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thanks.
As always, thank you.
Me.
Yes,
of course.
Yeah, always.
And we'll definitely like have to figure out the next podcast. I don't know what we could talk about because I feel like we just talked about everything.
We'll just wander into it. Like
you're gonna have so much stuff, so much stuff from the show.
Yeah.
It'll be days of conversation.
Yeah,
I think so.
I mean, it might only be three of us ever listening to this one or the next one, but that's okay too. I don't mind. It's all good.
Next time you guys from there, we could do a squad shopping.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can be involved in that.
Yeah,
Jeez, look at that, eh? Oh my Lord.
I don't know. We don't have any fashion.
It's too much.
Oh, that's a little.
You'll be like, I can't shop with you guys. Like, why are you guys on the Costco app? Like, what?
Buddy, I like shop. I can shop, man. I can shop.
So can I. I'm just saying that
like it.
Look, even just on the Zoom, she's way more fashion forward than the two of us. Like, there's no way that we're gonna get on a team buy and she's gonna be like, no, I'm not. I can't be caught dead in that. You know what, Lisa? I'm gonna go buy Crocs, and you'll be like,
"Oh my God, please don't!" Thank you for commenting on that. It's an ongoing joke with like my LinkedIn followers and my Twitter followers that I always comment whatever Crocs is doing. I have to comment on. Really, it's the ugliest shoe.
They are pathetically ugly.
Do not understand it, but
so today she posted
to each his own.
On Crocs, and then I jumped
industry.
On it. She like. But it was a great post. So I said, oh, this is a cool post, and she was like, I just want to be clear. I don't own any Crocs. And I was like, oh no, I own Crocs. Like I like Crocs. I have a pair. And she's like, oh my God. And then I don't know, like so many people jumped in on the post, right? It was hilarious.
People love to talk about Crocs on my post.
I don't get it.
Funny.
I don't get it.
It's hilarious. Like,
and yet, like the food service industry, tons of them live in Crocs.
Yeah,
maybe they're comfortable.
Fair.
I don't get it. I mean,
and lots of nurses.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. I think they're butt ugly. I've never understood the concept
they are
of
butt ugly.
Yeah.
Right? I just don't get them, but that's fine.
They're super comfortable. They're butt ugly.
I've never worn one.
Like
really? I have no desire.
Oh, they're so comfortable.
I think I'd rather go barefoot on glass.
Lisa's like, I'm hanging up now. I don't want anything more to do with this.
Don't get it.
But I will say that they're very smart with their collaborations and marketing. So
totally.
That's the part that I'm like, super in awe about. And the
Yeah.
fact that they're partnering with beauty this time. But I mean, it is exciting. It's
good.
just really, really ugly.
Yeah.
They're really ugly.
Yeah, really ugly.
I
really
think
ugly.
even the people that wear them would agree with that. Like I think we all
No,
know.
I think Nicki Minaj really likes hers. Questlove, Justin Bieber. Yeah.
Really?
I think people actually really do. I don't get it.
That seems
people
like I
wearing
know
them
they're
are-
ugly, but I don't care, right? Like I'm also the guy that'll wear, those 5-fingered shoes that are out there.
Oh my
Yes, I
God,
hate those.
Yeah, I
no.
am that guy, right? Like I'll run in those. I actually have a pair of those for running.
See, and I think those
Like,
are they may even be a step beyond Crocs. And then to me, like
Yeah,
But I
Uggs,
don't care.
Uggs comes in right in front of those.
I don't
ones.
understand Uggs.
I
don't
hate
understand.
Uggs are super warm and very comfortable
Oh,
for
yeah.
Ontario
See?
winters.
There you go. See,
Do you
It's
see why the three of us can't shop together?
It's
Like,
a Crocs and
No, we
fluff.
can't. We can't.
I
Crocs
I don't understand Uggs at all. Zero.
Don't get them.
I don't.
Zero
You
understand.
They're
need
like-
to try them on. If you wear Crocs,
Uh,
you have to try on Uggs. And
no,
they are
but
cute.
so to me, I'm not a fashion person, but Uggs are ugly. They are.
Well,
I wear
you know
Crocs,
what? With
and
the
I
two
think
of you
Uggs
right
are
now,
ugly.
I don't know if I could be on the podcast with the two of you anymore. One wearing Uggs, one wearing Crocs. I'm disillusioned.
But I wear Crocs, and I think Uggs are ugly. Like I don't.
They're both
like,
ugly.
So that's the part I don't really understand, right? Like because
I don't understand that either about
oh.
you specifically, not about Uggs, obviously.
I feel like you're looking at me different now. I'm not
I am. I
It's
totally am. The Crocs thing. I completely forgot that we talked about that too.
I can't believe he actually owns them.
just
I like
laughing
walk
so
it.
hard because it kept coming up on my phone. Like I've been on calls all day, and the only thing that seems to keep popping up is like LinkedIn posts of people going, "Somebody liked your comment. Somebody's responded to your comment." I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like they're just Crocs, people.
Yeah.
Like let's move on, right? But like
I know.
nobody moved
Wow.
on. Like it was hilarious. It was just
No, it was. I
Oh
should
my
have
gosh.
posted about Glossier instead. How they got $80 million today in Series
yeah,
E.
that's
something?
crazy.
I love that brand. I'm really
Yeah.
excited for them. Yeah. And even NYX, like obviously that was a little while ago, but
Yeah.
super excited
Yeah.
for these brands.
Very cool.
Yeah,
So
NYX is
let's see
pretty.
what happens.
Yeah,
We need like one of these Oxford properties or Calic Fairviews to kind of use Hudson Yards and transform parts of it to DTC. That would be so cool.
that would be pretty cool. Yeah,
I don't know if it's
maybe
gonna happen.
one day.
It's
That's
whether they can
you.
do it.
You're
Yeah.
gonna lead that charge.
It's a
Done.
Done.
oh.
I'm taking that torch.
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
All
Have a
right.
wonderful night, and then
Thank
Thank you very
you.
much, as always.
I'm sure we'll
And,
talk to you before then. But if not,
yeah.
good luck at Retail X, and
Thank
Yeah,
you.
let us know how it goes, and hopefully we
Yeah.
can connect with you either there or
Yeah.
definitively right after.
yeah,
Definitely.
Awesome.
That'd be
Definitely.
awesome.
I'll say hi to people in real life.
Wow, that's crazy
Um,
talk.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
From all
Crazy
the
talk.
Canadians.
Crazy talk.
It is crazy.
Oh my
Anyway.
Lord. Go.
Thanks, guys.
wonderful.
Thank
Have
you.
a great night.
Have a good night.
Thanks,
Okay.
you too.
Take
Ciao.
care.
Bye.
Bye. She's cool.
Yeah, she's just such a live
she's
wire.
so
She's
cool.
got so much stuff going on, man. Good
Yeah,
for
yeah,
her.
yeah.
Super bright.
And that was funny. Like we didn't. I mean, obviously we don't prep for these things, but we literally, like, we just jumped into it with her, and then
She's easy to do that with though too, because she can talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
so many different things. And she's
because
just,
that
she's
was
just
like
interesting.
30 minutes before we came up for air. I didn't
Was it
even have
really?
time to eat chips while I was there. You know,
I think you just felt bad about making all the crunchy sound.
maybe.
I don't. I wouldn't care. If I had the chips here, I'd be eating my chips right now. I mean, serious ketchup chips. Come on, be serious. All good in the hood. Yeah, you're just crunching away. That's great.
It's your fault. Like,
Okay, well, this your daughter. Your daughter did the nice thing for you.
she
Okay,
did
so
do a
you
nice
got to
thing.
go to bed because you got to get up early tomorrow. We have a 6 o'clock tomorrow.
It's not. It's 6 o'clock for you. It's 9 for me.
Yeah, but what time is it for you right now? You're at 11.
11. Buddy, I'm
That's
not
not too
going
bad.
for another hour or two, I think.
Yeah. I'm gonna go do some listings, I think.
Yeah, I have some things to do, but
Yeah. Or maybe I'll just go have a cup of coffee and watch some TV. I don't know. It's got so many things in my head. Yeah, I might do that too. We'll see.
do that too.
Okay.
Have a long day.
What's up?
Anyway.
I got nothing else for you.
That's it, man.
We will chat
have a great
tomorrow
night.
morning. Thanks.
I'll see you
too,
first
man.
thing. Okay.
Sounds good, buddy boy.
Ciao, buddy.
Ciao, ciao.